work. You're going to wear yourself out if you keep on the way you're going. Rick sat at the massive table and fingered a stack of documents. An ornate dagger served as a paperweight. Think I wouldn't like to? Only how in hell could I make policy on stuff we've never done before? None of us have any experience handling primitives, and Romans, and barbarians, and, well, yes, sir, and not even the locals have any experience living with a rogue star coming, just legends. Rick tossed off his goblet of wine and poured another. Policy, procedures, the whole goddamn planet's going to hell, and all they've got is a bunch of legends. Legends in us, and we don't know what we're doing. Mason shrugged. Colonel, for somebody who don't know what he's doing, you've done damned well. You must be doing something right, even if I do think you work too hard and drink too much. There was a loud knock at the door. Yeah? Mason called. He took out a .45 automatic and glanced at the loads before returning it to its holster. Who's there? The voice belonged to Rick's orderly. The Star-Lord Les wishes to speak with the Marshal of Drontos. Mason looked at Rick. Rick shrugged, then nodded. Mason went to the door, looked through the peephole, then opened it. The man who entered was shorter than Rick, about Mason's height. He didn't look much different from the other two. A star man, Rick thought. A real one, not a cheap imitation like me. So how should a star man look? God knows his bosses look weird enough. Hello, Les. Wine? Rick offered. Hello, yes, small glass, and Major Mason, if you don't mind. Let him stay, he's my deputy, Rick protested. It's all right, Colonel, I better go check out that commotion in the courtyard. I'll be back to walk you to your meeting. Don't bother, Jamie and the guards can do that. Mason nodded. It wasn't hard to read his expression. Since Tylera's man Caradoc had been killed in street riots, there weren't as many locals Rick could trust to guard his back. Come to that, a lot of other things had changed for the worse. I'd rather you found out what the problem is down there. Okay. Mason threw half a salute and left without waiting for Rick to return it. Rick poured wine and handed it to Les. They sat at the table and Rick lifted his goblet. Cheers. Cheers. They sat in silence. Finally, Les spoke. I'll be leaving in a day or so. Back to Earth? Yes. I don't suppose I can talk you into taking us with you. Les shook his head. No, you wouldn't want me to. He wasn't smiling. Try me. You wouldn't. What would you do? Go to the authorities? Tell them you were kidnapped by a flying saucer and taken across light years to another planet just so you could grow drugs? Well, that would have the great merit of being true, and the serious demerit that no one would believe you, Les said. It would be worse if someone did. Either way, you'd irritate the High Commission, make a deadly enemy of Inspector Agzaral, and spend the rest of your life dodging us. No, my friend, you do not want to be returned to Earth. What if... Suppose we promise to lay low, never tell what happened to us. No, Les said. Yeah, well, I suppose you can't believe us. Even if I did, I couldn't hide the fact that I took you back to Earth. I could probably hide it from the Commission, but not from Agzaral. I don't know what he'd do about it, but I don't want to find out. Les sipped at his wine. There's another reason. You may be safer on Tran. What? Come off it. This planet is coming apart. It's going to be fried by a rogue sun, the ice caps melt, coasts underwater, migration sparking wars everywhere, and your Shalnuksi friends are probably going to bomb the survivors back to the Stone Age anyway. And you say... I say it may be safer than Earth, Les repeated. Things happen so fast. Atom bombs, space travel, big colliding beam accelerators, huge lasers. Leave things alone, and pretty soon Earth will have real space travel. There are factions on the Commission that don't want that. And they'd really bomb Earth? I don't know. They could. You said Earth is the breeding ground for wild humans. Wild. Not like me. Les agreed. Not slaves. Slave soldiers. Janissaries. I'm not a soldier, Les said. But yes, that's as good a description as any. And you run the whole damned empire? It's not an empire. Confederation. But humans run it. You have all the military power, but you're still slaves. It doesn't make sense. Well, that way, maybe not. But you